not have to be an entomologist to teach the insect sweep. In this video, we will show you some simple techniques that you can use to make this an engaging and educational activity for all ages. You will need some basic equipment: insect nets, wide-mouthed jars, and a viewer. Now let's head out to Deer Park, Prairie, where Della Barbato, Director of Education, and Chuck DuPlant, a volunteer educator, will show us how to do an insect sweep.
It's going to give you a different variety of insects to find. I mean, you can find insects right here, but this is going to give you the biggest variety. I'll go out and look. Let's go half mile. And like she said, the flip.
Oh my gosh.
And
look at it.
if
Wow.
somebody's
Jar?
got a jar,
Yeah.
we'll dump in the jar.
You got it?
And there's no magical way, whatever gets comfortable with you. And I'll slide it in. This has a wide enough mouth. I can reach in.
So the wider the mouth, the better.
Yes.
Wider the mouth, the better. Got you there. We'll get him on there. And see, that was just a short little deal. So we got us. It might be a little wasp. We got us a little lacewing. We got us a grasshopper. We got a couple rice stink bugs. And then a bunch of little micro bugs that are just really hard to see. We got us a little seed weevil. I lost him. So you can see we got us a variety of stuff. And that's probably one little wasp or maybe even a bee. That's my technique on doing it. Others might have a different way or other suggestions. There's always some stragglers. But that's how I do it. I'll find an area, and you can do small circles, you can do a larger circle, however you want to do it. If you're getting into doing transects for studying plants, scientific deal, you can even do transects where you have like a grid, and you can sweep that grid, to tie it more into science. However you want to do that. Mostly what we're doing is studying the actual bugs, seeing what we get. So.
My only additions would be, so this kind of net, I would tell them what dewberry looks like and tell them with this kind of net to stay away, and then you just let them, if they're going to break a net, let them break a net, and without and tear it or whatever.
If
the other thing,
if you have some scotch tape or just regular tape or duct tape, you can patch them while you're out there in the field.
These, I bought these 4 years ago, so that tells you. And if you're doing like a taller plant, I would stay like near the top of the plant. If they're like in a field of tall things, I've seen them try to, go down to the bottom, but the insects are hanging out on the flowers, on the top. So if they're down, I like his method, of going back and forth like this in the shorter grass. But if they want to do some of the taller stuff, there you go, right there. I would say, you kind of do both. You want to stay some at the top and then some at the bottom. And I just kind of go back and forth. I like his circle idea. Yeah. I have never done that before.
And we're sweeping vegetation and not dirt.
Yeah. And then the immediate flip. See, I actually got some flowers. And then, choke it immediately, because things are going to start flying here. And it's a lot harder to choke it down here and put it in the jar. Does anybody have a jar?
Mm-hmm.
And so you want to show them the inversion method. So you want it out so they can see. You want them each to be able to have a turn of netting, and then make sure you tell them, you know, don't hog the net. Make sure that your partner has a chance to do some netting too. You have 20 minutes. And you know, and if you want, what I tell them, what I do is say, we're gonna count species. You don't have to know what it is. You just have to count it. And you can say, oh, I got a green thing, 1, 2, 3, 4, and they can say, okay, this is 8 species right here. And maybe they have a phone and they can INAT it. If they're the older kids, that's always a great thing. And they can INAT it right through the jar too. They don't have to sit there and hold it. And then you want to tell them, you know, with each catch, you want to, you know, grab something and put it in the magnifier. And then before your next sweep, go ahead and just empty that out. Because once you take this off, you know, things are going to fly out. Or if they don't, if they want to add it to it, that's fine too. I mean, there's really no wrong way to do this. They're going to catch insects no matter what they remember and what they don't. Questions?
So what do we do with the magnifier?
Oh, well, you want to put something from here in there.
Okay.
Okay, so it takes 2. So let's see, what am I going to grab? I can grab this green little guy there. I am not very successful at doing this, but the kids are. It's amazing. So let's just grab you and put him in there. And then look at it. So can you see it close up?
Well, not close up. I mean, it's crawling on the lens here.
So what about if you look through here? Walking sticks, we have a lot of those out here. And be careful, if you put 2 praying mantis in a jar, what's going to happen? Anybody?
Someone's gonna die.
No, they don't do. One will eat the other one. I mean, and it looks like an ice cream cone. They are literally, they have them in his hand and they chomp and they nom, 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 nom. I've had that with a group of 2nd graders. They were horrified.
Middle school.
But then there's a chance to talk about the circle of life.
And when I get back, everybody's gathered around, and then I just dump it.
Oh my God.
And then they all get to see the stuff that's this is the way to see some of the little stuff. Of course, all the big stuff flies away. Here's another one of our, pretty sure that's one of the bees. And but this gives you a chance to see all the little bitty stuff. Here we got what's called the crab spider.
Yes.
And what's neat, well, I lost him. Oh, he's still there. This one's a white one, and they can actually get on flowers. And it takes, you know, a while, but they can actually change their colors.
Let me see if I can.
Little green one with some lace wing.
And they get
They're
on
beautiful.
a branch or a piece of wood. I've seen them on fence posts, seen them on fence railings. Like I say, this is just another way of doing it, especially if you're wanting them, you know, all you have is little small containers. You can dump stuff out, and then they can catch the stuff that they find attractive.
Put in the
Like I say, this is just another tool that you can use to your advantage. This is typically how I do a public program where I have just whoever shows up, and it's
What's
nice.
that guy?
That's probably, I think that's one of the, it could be a little robber fly, but I see those little yellow deals on its side.
Yeah, I see little yellow spots on its side.
Look at this wasp here. You'll see he's got some bright yellow orange antennae.
Put that on top of
And
the
usually when a wasp has, you know, like orange on its body or antenna like that, typically the best way to start to identifying them is as a spider wasp. So these guys are going to be spider hunters. And you'll see them go from plant to plant. Yeah, that's a tiny little grasshopper. And it almost
And those
looks
are
like
good for the kids because they don't, there's no stingy thingy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You get the bigger ones, they spit that. We always called it tobacco juice.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's just plant fluids.
Get that on your hands.
So this is one of the nymphs. And as they shed, they'll get bigger. And if I remember right, they go through, I think, 4 or 5 sheds, kind of like a caterpillar. And then they'll, in their last stage, they'll start getting the wing buds. And then as they come out of that, then they have their wings. A couple varieties of plant hoppers.
Leaf hoppers?
Plant hopper. Here's another little grasshopper. Wasp, you can see he only has 1 set of wings. Yep.
What kind of a wasp is this?
Potter. Oh, I'm sorry, he's got 2.
Like P-O-T-T-E?
P-O-T-T-E-R. So this is one of the bigger of them. And you can see how lethargic they are. So this gives you a good opportunity for to look at the stingy critters up close. And for a lot of kids nowadays have deals. So if you get the magnifying app, you can see.
Look at that.
And you can usually find your magnifying app in like your widgets on your phone.